And then releasing your intention, let's bring the focus back to the breath. And we're going to start to pull the breath in a little deeper into the body, focusing on creating a light Ujjayi breath. So a little bit of breath with sound, like you're trying to fog up a window. And with every inhalation that you take, trying to fill the breath all the way down to the belly, so letting the belly expand all the way down into the pelvic floor. So really letting the diaphragm open, and then exhaling, using those same belly muscles to press the air back out to empty. So finding a really activating, audible breath through the nose. And let's just do that a few more times. How full can you get the body with your breath? How empty can you get the body? Letting go of this pranayama, of your Ujjayi breath, just returning back to a normal breathing. Let's bring the hands together in front of the heart, finding Atmanjali Mudra. And welcome if you're just joining. And with the hands in front of the heart, you can start to open the eyes gently. Beautiful. And we're going to start with the hands up overhead, and we're interlacing the fingers and allowing the index finger to point straight up to the sky. And I'd like you to really extend through the arms, reach up through the elbows, and get super long as you can through the belly space. And find that same pranayama that we were just doing, so your Ujjayi breath, filling the body up as much as you can with your in-breath. And then fully exhaling, pulling the belly muscles in. Let's do this a few more times. And continue breathing. Work on pulling in through the pelvic floor as you exhale. Let's take one more deep breath. And as you exhale, this time we're going to release the hands and twist to one side. Ooh. And just get any cracks out of your back you might have. Make sure that you're sitting up tall, pulling shoulders back. Let's take it to the other side. Release your twist. Inhale, take the arms up overhead, really finding length. And then exhale, twist to the opposite side. And just waking up the spine, pulling shoulders away from the heart. It's kind of waking up your organs, your insides. When you're ready, release. Let's inhale, take the arms back up one last time. And then exhale, bring the palms forward and down in front of you to fold. And just gently pressing into the mat, hoping to open up the back body. Imagine that you're pressing the tailbone down into the floor behind you. And also noticing here how the hips might feel. So we're working our first chakra today, so we're going to really get into the hips. So just start to pay attention to what might be going on. And as you're ready, slowly lift the head, start to walk the hands back. And we're going to release the feet, bring them to the mat, and you can do a little windshield wipe with the knees just to kind of help release the legs. And we're going to take 3 rounds of Navasana boat pose. So you can start with your hands under your knees and just kind of lean back and come onto your sit bones. And you can feel free to stay here or extend the arms forward, up to you, but I want you to feel this space really light up, so the belly, the hip flexors, and the thighs. Keep taking deep breaths. We're here for 3, 4, and 5. Now to transition in between, what we're going to do is cross the legs, bring our hands slightly forward, press, and just kind of lift your butt up off the mat. Good job. Bring the hips back down, and then come back up into your Navasana. So this is very similar to what we do in Ashtanga. Just getting nice and strong through the core. We're here for 2, 3, 4, and 5. Again, cross and press and lift. It's like a little swing. Come back down. Let's do our final round of Navasana. And I want you to try and straighten your legs, even if that means you're a little bit lower. So you can be right here. Again, it's all about core activation. We're here for 2, 3, get nice and warm, 4, yeah, good job, and 5, cross the legs, give yourself a big hug, and then let's roll forward onto our hands and knees. Nice job, you guys. Once you're here, start some cats and cows. Inhaling to drop the belly down and get that nice stretch. Exhaling to contract. And just moving with your breath. And just reminding ourselves that when we're focused on the chakras, we want to pay a lot of attention to the spine, because this is where your Kundalini Shakti lives, where all of that energy needs to get, a little spruced up. So focus on the movement between the vertebrae here. How does your spine feel? And then finishing your last round of movement in your cat and cow. You can come to a neutral tabletop position. We're going to do cat and cow again, but this time tucking the toes, and we're going to lift off a little bit in our cat. So your inhalation is the same for your cow. You drop the belly, lift the tailbone, lift the gaze. But as you exhale for your cat, you squeeze, contract, and then lift off the mat just like an inch or 2. So it's like a high cat. So let's take maybe 5 more rounds, again, moving with your breath. And really nice, Lauren, squeezing and lifting in that high cat. Muladhara Chakra is all about strength, stability, foundation. You guys got it. A couple more times. Beautiful. After your final time, come down into a child's pose and rest. And if your wrists are feeling a little tired, flip the palms up. Let's come up and out of our child's pose. From here, tuck the toes and lift the knees up into a plank position. Now, plank is challenging. You can always take supported plank on the knees, either way. But again, lifting and tucking through the belly, getting nice and strong. Make sure your shoulders are stacked right over your wrists. Here for 2, 3, 4, and 5. Press back into your first downward facing dog and just pedal it out. Press the heart through the shoulders, stretch the belly. Again, just kind of making sure there isn't any tension being held in any unconscious places. Ready, gaze forward to the top of your mat. And we're going to take 2 big steps up to the top of our mat. Inhale, lift the head into a halfway fold, flattening the back. Exhale, you can soften the knees and fold down, and maybe we take the forearms and just do a little ragdoll. Just kind of opening up through the back space, opening up through the hamstrings. Focus on pulling belly space in and up so that you can really elongate through the lower spine. This is Uddiyana Bandha. And then when you're ready, coming all the way up to standing, rooting through the feet, gently rolling up. Coming up through the arms. And then exhaling, arms release down to the sides, Tadasana. We're going to move through some sun salutations. Inhale, take the arms back up overhead. And just nice and slow, exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift the head, halfway fold. And if the hamstrings are tight, bringing hands to shins is great. And then let's find our plank position. Hands to the mat, step your feet back, hold here for 1 breath. And exhaling in our first chaturanga, you can feel free to come to the knees first, then lower down through the heart. Inhale, press, reach the heart up and back, upward dog. Exhale, tuck the toes, and take the hips back and up, downward facing dog. Again, maybe gently walking it out. But we are focusing on the earth element today. So it's okay if your movement's a little slower, if it's a little more sturdy, if it's stiller. Keep taking deep breaths through the nose. Let's go ahead and move back forward, gaze to the hands, and inhale, step to the top of your mat. Come up halfway, flatten your back. Exhale, fold forward. And inhale, stand, arms up overhead. Tadasana, arms relax to the sides. Let's do it again. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, slowly reach, fold all the way down. Really let yourself get into the folds. Inhale, lift the head, flatten your back. Exhale, plank position. Step your feet back and hold. Beautiful job. Lower down chaturanga with or without your knees. So without the knees, you do a little push-up, and then inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. And sit here and breathe. Last breath. And gazing forward, inhale to step the feet to the top of your mat. Come up halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, stand. Tadasana. Inhale, arms come back up. Just keep following your breath. Exhale, reach and fold all the way down, rib cage over the thighs. Inhale, come up halfway. Beautiful, and exhale, lower down, chaturanga with or without your knees. Inhale, nice long upward dog, really reach the heart. And exhale, downward dog. And in your downward dog, focus on really pressing through the palms and through the soles of the feet. So really rooted through those 4 contact points. Connecting your body into the earth through the mat. Last breath. Gazing forward, inhale to step the feet to the top of the mat. Come up halfway, fold, flatten your back. Exhale, fold forward. And inhale, stand, reach the arms. And Tadasana, arms down to the sides. Beautiful job. Now gaze down at your feet, really spread your toes. Try and open the toes up as much as you can onto your mat. And my feet here are about hip distance. From here, take the arms overhead. And we're going to exhale, sit the hips back into our chair pose, Utkatasana. So grounded through the feet, moving back through the tailbone. Notice that my knees are just, a little bit forward in front of my ankles. Thighs are parallel to the mat, if not just a little bit lifted. So you can get really, really deep here. Deep into the thighs, deep into the root of your body, the mula. Stay strong for 3. Very nice. 2. And 1. Exhale, fold, straighten the legs. Inhale, halfway lift, flatten the back. We're gonna take Padangusthasana. First 2 fingers are going to wrap around your big toes. So I'm reaching on the inside edge of my big toe. You can find some length and then pull on your toes to fold down. Really get into those hamstrings, get into the glutes. Try to keep relaxing shoulders away from the ears. Inhale, come up halfway. Release your hands, bring them down to your mat. And we're just going to step back from here into our downward facing dog. Now your feet in down dog are about hip distance apart. Bring your heels together so that the feet form a V at the back of the mat, toes are pointing out. And we're gonna step the right foot forward, come up into warrior one. So when we bring the feet into that V shape, we're kind of setting up center line. So when we come into our warrior one, everything is square. Square to the front, arms overhead. Sit here for 5 breaths. Try and get equal weight between both legs. So front leg and back leg are sharing your torso. You don't want to be too forward or too back. Last breath. From here, we're going to just open up, warrior two. Now your hips are open, shoulders are open, arms are lifted at the sides. Gaze over your front fingertips. And just keep breathing. Keep trying to distribute your weight evenly through the legs. Now take a big breath in. Exhale, hands are gonna come down. Take your foot back, plank position, lower down chaturanga, upward dog, and downward dog. Hip distance with your feet, bring the heels together. Left foot forward, warrior one on the opposite side. So again, my hips are forward, shoulders are forward. Even weight between the legs, deep breaths here. 4 or 5. Sit and breathe, really get into it. When you're ready, open up, warrior two. Nice job, everyone. Last couple breaths, you guys can do it. Nice job, now take a deep breath. Take a little vinyasa, hands come down, plank position. Lower down, chaturanga. Upward dog, and downward facing dog. Pedal it out. Same thing as before, bring the heels together. Step forward with your right foot, warrior one. Open up, warrior two. Taking it into side angle Parsvakonasana, and we have 3 variations. Here's variation number 1. Forearm to thigh. Variation number 2, your hand is to a block or to the mat. Variation number 3, you bind behind the back. Let's take one more breath. Inhale, press back up to warrior 2. Straighten your leg. You can shorten your stance a little bit. And then tilt down into triangle pose, Utthita Trikonasana. Moving into pyramid pose. Take your left hand, drop it down, frame your front foot. Notice the hips shift. And now we're folding over our front leg. So I went from this open position to this forward facing squared hips position. So you can, give yourself a moment and readjust if you need to, and then fold over the right leg. Take one more breath here in your pyramid pose. You guys look great in your little boxes on my computer screen. Now from our pyramid pose, we're just gonna step up to the top of the mat. Inhale, flat back, halfway fold. Very nice. Exhale, fold. Step back, plank position. Lower down, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Feet are open at hip distance. We bring the heels together and step the left foot forward. Warrior 1 on the left side. Virabhadrasana A. Open up, warrior 2. Parja Konasana, 3 ways. Forearm to thigh. Hand to mat. And if your hip feels open, get in your bind. Last breath. When you're ready, press to come back up. Warrior 2, straighten your front leg. Maybe shorten the stance just slightly if you need to. Down into your Trikonasana, triangle pose. And we're leaning back, lifting up through the heart. Trying to get really, long and open here in the body. And let's move into our pyramid pose. Drop the right hand. Again, note the hip. It shifts forward. So I'm just going to adjust my back leg a little bit. And then keeping those hips plugged. So my right hip plugging forward, left hip pressing back. Engage the bandhas and fold over your left thigh. Parja Konasana. From Parsvatanasana, pyramid pose, we're gonna just step back forward to the top of the mat. Inhale, lift up halfway, flatten your back. Exhale, fold. Step back, plank position. Lower down, Chaturanga Dandasana, super strong. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, child's pose. And for this child's pose, you can feel free to open the knees up pretty wide and just get into your hips a little bit more. Come on back up from your child's pose. And we're going to move right from here into Malasana. So coming into a little squat, and there are a lot of different ways that you can assist in this squat. So again, using the block, you can kind of set it up long ways and come into your squat this way. This is a really nice supported variation if you're really, really tight in these rotators. And as always with the blocks, you can use different heights. So as your practice progresses, as you start to open up, you can get lower and lower to the floor. Whoop. Until we don't need the block. And we're in this nice little yogi squat. Knees open out wide, elbows in front of the shins. We're trying to press the heart forward. And wherever you are, just find the asana. And asana means seat. And this implies a seat of meditation. So we're just sitting and breathing with the sensations that are coming up. Let's do this for 10 breaths. If it gets too intense, you can always take a break. And just think about your pelvic floor. Envision it as the galactic center of the universe. This is what Mula represents, the Muladhara Chakra. Last couple breaths. Beautiful, everyone. When you're ready from here, you can just gently sit back and give your legs a little shake. Kind of release from the intensity of that posture. And let's take a Paschimottanasana, forward fold. Inhale, take the arms up in preparation. And then exhale, reach forward and take it down. Inhale, start to come up. Let's do one leg at a time. So you can pull your left leg in. This is Jani Shirshasana. And we're just reaching up again and forward and down over our right leg. Now you're going to slowly sit up, and we're going to play with Jani Shirshasana B. So essentially, the position is the same, but all you're going to do is lift the hips and sit directly on top of the heel. So again, what that looks like from here in your Jani Shirshasana A, my foot's to the thigh. I'm going to lift and sit right on top of the heel, and the heel is hitting you in the perineum, and this is physically where the mula or the root of your body is. So if we were to line up Muladhara Chakra with somewhere physically in the body, it would be right here in the perineum. That's right between the rectum and the reproductive organs. So we're sitting, and if you can fold, you want to try and take a fold, but no worries if you can't, just focus on the sensation. Let's inhale, come up. And you can just lift and stretch your leg back out in front of you and switch sides, starting with Jani Shirshasana A, just foot to thigh. Finding some length and then reaching forward and folding. When you're ready to make that switch into Jani B, you can come up. Again, it's just a lift. Tuck the heel right underneath the body, and then maybe fold again. And if you have a hard time finding this position, it's okay. It's kind of an awkward place. So just give yourself time, and if you just keep practicing, it'll get easier and easier. Let's take a couple more breaths. And then gently coming up. You can release your leg, bring it out in front of you. Give both legs just a gentle shake to release them, and then pull the feet in together for Baddha Konasana. This is our butterfly posture, and the hips should feel quite open. You can grab the feet, actively press the knees down. So here are my knees without any engagement in the legs. They're kind of lifted up off the mat. If I squeeze my legs and my glutes, they go down to the mat. So keep the legs engaged. It will help you open your hips in a safe way. Start to press the heart down and release the head to the floor. Inhale to slowly come up. And we're going to come into Padmasana now. So this is our lotus pose. And just remembering that this is all about practice. We're not trying to be perfect in any way. So working on your lotus wherever that is. If you've got your full lotus, you can just, come on right into it and take it as a posture and holding here. But maybe for the next 10 breaths, work on your lotus wherever it's at. So you can do a little cradle, just kind of opening the hip, practicing half lotus on one side for 5 breaths, and then switching cradle, half lotus for 5 breaths on the other side. Again, if you've got full lotus, just take your Padmasana and breathe wherever you're at. Nice. But this posture right here, this Padmasana, is one of the main focus postures for the Muladhara Chakra. So kind of unlocking the potential within the pelvic floor space, within this first chakra space, it will be activated in this posture. Let's do 5 more breaths wherever you're at. If you're doing one side at a time, now would be the time to switch sides. And then when you're ready, coming up, find your seat. So this can either be in Padmasana, in your lotus, or in any other meditative seat that you have. So you can, sit on a bolster, sit on a block, just take an easy seat, Sukhasana, but in some sort of cross-legged position, because again, it's the crossing of the legs that helps to unlock the potential within this space. We're going to do a little bit of pranayama before moving onto the floor. So taking your hands in that interlaced position that we started off in with the fingers pointing up. We're going to inhale, extend the arms overhead. And then as you exhale, the arms are going to come back down right in front of the center of the body. And just like that, start to connect your breath to your movement, inhaling up, exhaling down. Just do that a few times. Connect into the spine, connect to the Kundalini. Okay, and now just continue to move and breathe. We're gonna add our final element, and that is full pelvic floor engagement on the in-breath. So as you inhale, you're reaching and lifting through that pelvic floor space, the same muscles you would use to stop peeing midstream, your Kegel muscles. And as you exhale, you're releasing them. So inhaling, engaging and squeezing, almost like you're pushing that Kundalini Shakti up. And then you exhale and just let it kind of relax. Let's do this a few more times. Okay, now on your final time, we're gonna hold. So the next time you inhale, come up. You can continue to breathe, but don't stop contracting your pelvic floor muscles. Keep lifting them in and up, and it's gonna feel really challenging, really hard. Just keep holding, keep squeezing, keep lifting. And exhale, release the hands. Beautiful. You can gently release the legs. And that is a really powerful exercise, holding Muladhara Bandha. Once your legs are released, gently come down onto your back. And we're going to take Shavasana, but we're not done yet. So we're taking Shavasana as a posture, as an asana. So we're not complete with our practice yet. We still have to chant. So let this be a little bit more of an active Shavasana. Letting the body go, feeling yourself get heavy towards the earth. Just kind of relaxing your body. Softening your breath. And just staying here in Shavasana for a little while longer. I want you to bring your attention back to your pelvic floor, back to the mula of your body. You can start to imagine in this space a glowing red energy. It's this deep, beautiful red color filling the space. And you can envision the color and this energy sort of just swirling like a whirlpool, like a wheel, a vortex or a galaxy within the subtle body. And at the center, there is a black hole. A void, an empty, condensed space through which everything is created and destroyed simultaneously. And we're not trying to name anything. We're not trying to make sense or put labels on what this is, on what's being created or destroyed. We're just simply practicing observation of this space, acknowledging its existence within our minds, its existence within our subtle body, and that potential within us to both simultaneously create and destroy. Holding on to this visual, I'd like you now to slowly start coming back up to a seat. You can keep your eyes closed or soft. But once again, finding a seat of meditation. And to help balance this space, to help bring it into a place of harmony, of equanimity, we're going to practice chanting the bija mantra, or the seed sound, for our Muladhara Chakra. That seed sound is LAM, L-A-M, LAM. And we're going to chant the sound 108 times, and we do it very rhythmically. We keep an upbeat pace. And as we're chanting, just continuing to recognize and visualize the space. And the visualization, or the darshan, is really important in this meditation. The more focus and the more intention that you bring into this space, specifically the pelvic floor, the more potent this chanting meditation will be. So thinking about the nature of our root chakra, it helps us feel protected and secure. It's related to confidence. And when it's out of balance, it can yield emotions like fear, uncertainty, it can cause us to move into fight and flight responses and become impulsive. So as we chant, just shedding anything here that needs to be released. We can take Brahma Mudra. You're just going to take 2 fists together, really powerful mudra in front of the chest, nice and sturdy. Again, the sound is Lam. Take a deep breath in. Lam, 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 lam. Gently release the hands. We're going to bring the hands together and start to rub the palms and just create some heat in your palms. And once you have heat in your palms, cup your eyes with your palms and just feel the heat. Gently massage your eyes. And then slowly bringing the hands forward in front of the face. Start to blink your eyes open. And just letting them readjust to the light in the room. You can bring your palms together. Take a moment to close your practice, offering gratitude, offering humility, offering your practice. I'd like to thank you all for joining me this evening here over the Zoom. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your evening. Namaste.